And good morning, good afternoon, or indeed good evening. Please delete as appropriate. We're back. Well, I am back again in Train Sim World number 5, not the 4th, not the 3rd, not the 2nd. There wasn't the first one because it was Train Sim World 2020. But back doing something new again because, well, that's what I'm doing. Cargo Line Volume 3, which is intermodal cargo. Which, yes, I know isn't my thing normally, but we can do it on the West Coast Mainline South, which I like. So we can do a freight run on West Coast Mainline South, which means you'll also see some other stuff flying about. Then we'll do some passenger runs on freight on West Coast Mainline South, where we'll hopefully see the intermodal stuff trundling about. So we'll see it, we'll drive it, we'll do things with it. If you're watching this on YouTube, hello. You okay? Have you had a good day? Oh, well, sorry to hear that. Hopefully it gets better soon. There'll be links in the description below to where you can get the route. There'll be a link down there to the Twitchy page where you can watch me live on the Twitchy, and a link down there to the Discord server as well. Good evening to Trent, McBone, to Kerry, and to, well, Nigel. So, we can do a West Coast Mainline South, as I said, which is down here. Music is quite loud. So timetable, we got Cargo Line 2024 Intermodal. That's the one we're going to do. I think we'll play it safe with a 66 because me and the 47 I don't think it'll go well. Have I ever driven a 52? Should we try a 52? How hard can that be? Actually, no, we did a 66 because there might be a version of that for this. Yes, there is. Okay, right. And we'll do Bletchley into Wembley sidings because that's the first one I just clicked on. We'll leave the date as today because it's quite sunny out there, and then it'll probably be raining in the game. Happy affiliate anniversary. I did see something about that pop up, but yes, thank you, Aaron. And I clicked off it. I didn't realise it was about me. I thought it was about somebody else. Right. Okay, stop at South Departure Siding 4 in 37 miles. Well, this is going to be a thing. Reverse the handle in forward. It's a train, and it's got some carriages. Where are we? We're at a place. We are at, well, Bletchley. I think that's what it said and everything. Okay, let's open the window. Direct brake is released. That's automatic brake. Blake? Nice guy, Blake. Hi, Michael, and thank you. How many years I've been an affiliate? 7? Something like that? I know I'd never get to partner, but I'm fine with that. Okay. We're not going to... Let's see if we actually go, shall we? Come on. I think we've probably got quite a lot of weight on. We're not moving. We don't appear to be. Okay, I've done something. Threat brakes released. Automatic brake. Well, that's now gone to... That's now on release. Come on. Come on, you can do it. We're moving. It's moving. We're moving. It's fine. I wasn't panicking. Honestly, there was no panicking at all. This is repeated yesterday. No. Right, somewhere out here there's lights, isn't there? So look, cab lights on the instrument lights. We'll have a bit of those. Tail lights are off. Headlights. Day running. That's the thing. There we go. We have lights now. Let's see if we can give it a bit of beans. Now we got it going. So hopefully with this we should see a busy West Coast Mainline South around us. Hopefully. I don't know how long we are. We'll have a look when we come out the tunnel. Okay, well that's fairly long. Because the back of the train is only just going through the platform. So, okay, we're a fairly long train. Like, can we get a bit more beans? Oh, I see a train. So we do this freight run, and then what we do is we do a couple of passenger runs, but within this timetable. So then we'll see this service. What I'll try and do, if I remember, is do something that gets to Bletchley. So see if we can pass this service. Yeah, the back's just going through the tunnel. And there's that train that's just passed us. So, we're fairly long. I just hope we don't get any reds. Oh. Well, there you go. It's already feeling like a busy line compared to the busy line we were on last night. Right. Let's go full throttle then and see what happens. So I'm guessing it's going to keep us on the slow lanes. Slow lanes? Slow, slow, the lanes, the tracky things, the slow ones. Just watch ourselves go past. Let's see how long we are. Okay, that's fairly long. That's longer than I thought it was going to be. And we should get that Pendolino coming past us now. Here it comes. Yeah, it's a lot of wagons. I approve. which is why it's not exactly rapid, is it? With a single class 66. So we're still quite a way up, so the line isn't going to be the busiest until we get south of Watford Junction. Hi Connor. But we've already been passed by a few things. 19, it's been 25 here. We've got a bit of mist coming in. Turn the volume down. Yeah, it's nearly, I think tomorrow night it might be the aircon's first outing of the year for this room. Well, at least on Friday I've got no excuse not to mow the lawns. Yeah, that's what it gets like in this room. I love this room in the winter because the PCs and all the screens keep the room nice and warm. It's only a little 8-foot square room. In the summer, it gets quite moist. Hence the aircon unit last year. Right, so already feeling busier than the Cologne to Aachen route we did yesterday. Because at least we're seeing some things. Do that again. No. Oh God, that was a train. We're slowly getting up to speed. It's taken us a long time. It's taken us like 10 minutes to get to 60. So I think that side of it's quite realistic. Has UK nicked livery from the Germans? No, Deutsche Bahn are over here, aren't they? For freight. DB Freight. And aren't the 66s built in Canada or something? I see a yellow. I hope I don't get a red because this thing is not going to stop. How is one? One is good. Warm, but good. Yeah, we could do with greens because unless I get like about 10 miles notice of a red, I'm not going to stop this lot, especially because I haven't changed the brakes. Tunnel. I don't think we've got to worry about the 100 limit. Is there a speed limit for it? Yeah, maximum speed is 75. That's quite enough with this many carriages on the back. I don't think we're going to get to that anyway. Uh-oh, I've just seen another yellow. Call me mellow yellow. Oh no, it's green. Okay, so we're definitely behind something. My guess is a train. Okay, I'm going to back off the throttle a bit. As we're going slightly downhill. I don't want to risk doing the speeding up and stuff. Thank you, Sim. It must be 7 years. It's got to be 7 years. Or is it 8? When was the Susan clip? 2017. September, wasn't it? So that would be 8 years this September. Blimey, it could be 8 years then. Yeah, I think it might be 8 years. Blimey. I was 18, 17. No, 18. How old am I now? 26. Yeah, 18 when I started. I think about it. I should write that down somewhere, really. If you just joined, I'm looking at the new cargo line pack releasing tomorrow, which adds intermodal stuff to West Coast Mainline South and Preston to Carlisle. So going to do this freight run so we can see a journey with the freight, see how long the trains are. Then we'll do a couple of passenger runs, but within the same timetable. So hopefully then we'll see the freight stuff running around. And I'll try and do something that means we see this same service. That's definitely getting a bit foggy. Put a bit of power on again. Here, we haven't got an arrival time, it's just stop at location, south departure siding 4, which is Wembley. It's gone a bit quiet out there on the tracks as well. We saw a few trains initially, and now it's gone a bit quiet. I'm enjoying it. The variety of routes we got. This is up there. This is, someone asked yesterday, I think it was, what my favourite route was, and it's a mix. It's either this or London Commuter. I like this because of the variety of stuff you can do. You've got the Pendolinos, you've got 350s, you've got freight, you've got the 710s doing the overground service, and you've got a bit of underground. Obviously, you only get the Pendolino if you've got the Pendolino. And the overground if you've got the London Overground route. And if you've got the Mildmay route, you also get the 378 services in the overground. So it does make this a really busy route. Tris, 36 of the months. That's nearly 2 years, Tris. And hey to you as well. Thank you very much indeed. So yeah, so we just do a quick freight trundle in the 66, which is rather long. I said this the other weekend, we saw some freight stuff running. You'd think nowadays, they've obviously got air couplings between the wagons for brakes. Surely they can run electric. and then have something other than a little lamp on the back flashing at the back of the trains. Yeah, Nico's installed MSFS again. I do miss doing flight. When we used to do it years ago, there was a load of us doing flight, and it was really enjoyable. Now there's just, well, potentially like 2 or 3 of us, so that's sort of taking a bit of a back burner. Electric freight on the continent, yeah, I don't think there's much here. Yeah, I'm also getting a bit fed up with ETS and ATS, so I do want to find some new things. This isn't going anywhere because I love the variety of this. But yeah, I want to start doing some of the things that we were doing, like the kebab chefs, do the supermarket-y one, do the Roblox restaurant one. So start bringing some of that stuff back in, and try and find something new to do, like at the weekends. Oh, well, weather's cleared up. Farming isn't going anywhere. So, you know, farming and train sim are the two that are staying put. Everything else is just up for grabs, basically. Yeah, I was an advocate of X-Plane. I spent, God, well over about 1,500 quid in planes. And then MSFS came out and uninstalled X-Plane, never went back. Yeah, that's what I need to do, Connor. It's just time. Having the time to sit down and look at some games. Right, got a couple of yellows. So double yellow. If that's a single yellow, I have a Sunday and a Saturday. Okay, well, this Saturday I might have a bit of time, I suppose, but yeah. I don't come on the PC. I turn the PC off after the farm stream on a Sunday lunchtime. I don't turn it back on again until the stream on a Tuesday if I'm not streaming on a Monday. Is the bus multiplayer returning? Abso-flippin-lutely. Just got to work out when. It may, I don't know, maybe Monday, it may not be. I need to confirm what I'm doing the weekend. I think we're definitely doing farming Sunday lunchtime as normal. I may do the bus Monday night, possibly. Right, I'm very conscious of these yellows now, because stopping this thing isn't going to be easy if I have to. Well, that's gone green, so okay. Backing off a bit is probably a good thing. No, the bus multiplayer isn't just one route. Every route on the map, and multiple maps. So yes, that will be returning. Problem is now, going back to OMSI is going to be difficult now. I haven't tried the mob maps yet. Alright, so you've got 22 miles to go. So this, so if we did something at about 9:30, or that got to Wembley, I have to look at the timings. There are mod buses as well in a Steam Workshop. No, Sim. Haven't got any DLC for the bus. Just using stock Berlin and stock buses. And there are free mod maps. Oh crap, red. Yeah, we're not going to be stopping for this red. Oh, it's changed. Now my brakes have... No, 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 don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. I want to get the flipping thing going again. Come on. We're down, slightly downhill as well. It should be easier. It would have stopped for the red. Now it's just getting going again. If those brakes come back on again. No, brakes are off. There we go. That takes a lot of effort just to get it rolling. I suppose it takes a long time for the air to come out of the brakes of all the carriages, so it's probably realistic. Imagine all the passenger services that are now getting delayed because of a freight driver that slammed the brakes on. That's why I don't like these types of brakes. You got two brakes. No, that one doesn't do anything. But I just used to brake where you apply a little bit of it and it will slow you down at a steady rate. Would ever recommend dating sites. I found my ex on a dating site. I would avoid the free ones, is my advice. Things like Plenty of Fish, etc. And I certainly wouldn't go on any of those things where you got to swipe left, swipe right. Because yeah, that's all sorts of, and be careful of Grindr. Happy affiliate anniversary. Thank you very much. You found your wife on a free one. Yeah, I tried a few free ones and they were just troll-tastic. You can see through that, but at the time I just didn't have the patience, so I just signed up for Match.com. Be careful out there, Connor. That's the only thing I'd say. Right, slowly building up speed. He found Ethan on a free site. Here. Ethan will be off having his life soon. It is pretty much back to being just me again. And for now, I'm happy with that. What happens in the future? I don't know. Yeah, exactly. That's a reason to avoid the free ones. Right, there we go. Slowly building up speed. 19 miles to go. Scared of what Ethan will do now. Well, as far as work, I think he's scared of what he's going to do now. How much is match? Blimey, 18, 20 quid a month, something like that. But you've got to be careful because you've got to sign up for like a 6-month membership. No, I'm always going to be here to support Ethan in whatever he does. I will help him I'll guide him into work. And then go, see ya. No, my luck is to be around for a few more years. No, he threatened to look for jobs here. It's like, no, you're a London boy. You stay there. It's fine. Right, slowly the speeds come back up. Yeah, this line's definitely busy. So what we'll do is when we're taking this to Wembley. We'll do a passenger run. I'm just thinking now, if we had something that left Wembley at sort of 9:30, then technically we would see this service again. Oh, exactly. You know, when I first started work, that's where you find friends, you gain mates at work, your life expands, your connectivity with people expands. Certainly if you're someone that's a bit outward as well, that will talk to people. My jobs when I was younger, I got dragged out of my shell kicking and screaming, and thank my bosses at the time for doing that. Well, it depends on the environment you work in, Trent. I worked in small groups for a lot of my career, so you end up becoming mates with those people. And in the last couple of jobs, well, not to a point where you socialise with them, I used to. In this job, I certainly don't. But yeah, when you're younger, you find you do. Yeah, it's 10 in the game now, so I was thinking we want to get something that goes back through where we were at so leaves about 9:30 to get through Wembley Central for about 10, so in theory we should see this service. And never go out there looking for it. You know, you go on a dating site, fine, but never go on a dating site desperate, because you'll come across as that, and then the person that you're trying to see you never sees the real you because you're desperate. A lot of relationships come from friends of friends or people that you work with or know. Say, I met my ex for a dating site. We spent 3 months or so chatting every night on Messenger and stuff and texting before we'd even met. Yeah, you can see the amount of AI we've got here, why this line is so good. And I like these DLCs. I was saying to a couple of the guys the other day, even if freight isn't your thing, it's worth, when you can, even if it's in a sale, picking up DLCs for things that will appear on the routes you've got, because then that gets layered in to the routes you've got. So I'm hoping these would be layered in on the other timetable, or just not as drivable services. So you'd still see this train when you're doing a route in passenger runs. That's why it's worth getting the overground, because then you can use that in this and you'll see them running. There are probably good dating apps. I'd just be very careful, and certainly don't jump straight in and go and start meeting people, certainly when you're younger, because you hear a lot of horror stories of people being robbed and attacked. If you're going to meet someone, meet them publicly and have a mate with you, not sat next to you, but across the other side of the room or in the McDonald's or wherever, and make sure that someone knows where you are and that you've gotten out. And if you don't feel comfortable, you get up and you leave. Never tell people where you live, never tell people where you work. Don't go straight in divulging information about you. Right, we got welcome to Simpson Stuff Dating. We got another yellow coming up. So I'm just going to back it off a little bit. Very long. I can just about see the front down there, I think. It's definitely a long one. I don't know. I'm not saying never. Again, as I've said, I want to go to America. There's places I want to go and things I want to see, and I don't necessarily want to go alone. So if I met someone this year, it's not a case of then I'm going to come to America with me. So that's a next year thing. There's going to be a point where I'll just have to bite the bullet and go on my own. A lot of my family, I've been single for a few years, and a lot of my family, my dad's two brothers, never married. They were still living at home with their mum when they both retired. Mum was in her mid-90s, and they both retired and were still living at home with their mum. Mum then passed away, so they both moved. They both sadly now passed away, but neither of them never got married, never really in a relationship, happy loners. And I think that sort of stems down to me a little bit. You guys and this community is all I really need. This keeps me going. Right, another yellow. Well, yeah, I will move. When I retire, I do want to go down to the South Coast if I can afford to. Depends on, if the house price continues to rise and I can then retire comfortably. Who knows what? I've got another 40 years of working yet. Thankfully, I'm not one of those that wants exotic holidays. That's never our family's way. I'm not bothered about going on holiday, if I'm honest. I quite happily just spend time chilling about the house. So, if I ended my days in Swindon, in this house, wouldn't bother me. Right, through the tunnel. 11 miles to go. One thing I would say, for those of you that are new, for those of you that haven't been around long, and this isn't me being negative. Yesterday I was tired, wasn't in a great mood. Today I'm actually in a really good mood. This community is full of awesome people. It's been around a while. There are a lot of people in this community that I call friends. I've spent time away with people. We've done days out away. I've been abroad with people from this community. If you're someone that isn't necessarily looking for mates, or maybe hasn't got any mates, and you're watching this and thinking, I don't know, join in and get to know these bunch of people, because honestly, once you get to know us all, you'll struggle to find a nicer, more honest, more genuine bunch of nutcases anywhere. And I do want to do more meetups this year. I do want to do some days, not to meet people, but to get some of us out of the house, where maybe a few people don't leave the house. You know, I didn't for a couple of years before I did the York meetup 2 years ago. Depression was setting in, and took a lot of courage to do that first meetup. And now look, the stuff we've done in the last 2 years because of that. So this place is full of great people. Thank you, William. And if someone can take Ethan off my hands, that'd be great. Right, we've got another yellow. I am very concerned that we are going to get a red. It's also slightly concerning how we're going slightly uphill, but we're not slowing down. Tomorrow night, by the way, seeing Farmer William there, farming. Back on the farm doing the farmy type stuff in Farm Sim. Friday night we're playing with our balls. That's one of those games that people can join in with. Get to know the community. That and the Roblox stuff. Roblox stuff's easy. You just need a free Roblox account. A lot of people that are joining in with the multiplayer stuff now, the first games that they sometimes joined was balls or Wreckfest, which I want to bring back. You haven't got to speak on the stream, that's fine, but it's getting to engage and interact with us. And you never know, you may find your boy on a bus. Alright, we've got 7 miles to go. We're running greens again. Are you playing with your own balls? Not currently. Thank you, Paul. Alright, so 350 run the other way. Bletchley we took it from, and we're taking it to Wembley Sidings. So 30 odd mile dash. And as I said, what we'll do is when I get down there, we'll stay within the intermodal cargo line timetable, but then do something passenger to see if we then see the intermodal stuff running, because then we should see this running as a freight unit. So what we want to do is go the same way as this. So what I could almost do with doing is doing a service from Milton Keynes so that we'd overtake this, maybe something at about 9 o'clock leaving Milton Keynes, so that we would overtake this freight service. We'll see if we can do that. Let's see if we see anything coming the other way, which I haven't done yet. So let's see if we see something else. Uh-oh, red. Braking. Nope, wrong one. Definitely braking. We're definitely not going to stop at this, are we? Come on. I've got to look down at the control because otherwise I can't look out the window. Come on. It's got bloody yellow again. Right, release. Don't slow me down. Don't stop me. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. You scumbag. I don't like the 66. Right, so now we've got to wait for all the brakes to release again before we get going. Right, threat brakes released. Automatic brake is released. Come on. 5 miles to go. You can do it. It is slowly creeping forward. There we go. It's the thing, and it's just getting it going. All the effort, we were trundling along quite nicely. Thank you, Rich T. So yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, tomorrow farming. Friday night we're playing with our balls. Saturday might do something new or do something old. Don't know. I think it's going to be something single player Saturday night. Sunday we'll be here at lunchtime with some farming. Monday we'll be here either at lunchtime or the evening. I'll confirm that on Friday with something. And then Tuesday back with more Train Sim World 5. Don't know what route yet. Wednesday there's some things. I haven't thought that far ahead. There's some things next week. Alright, just bringing the power in slowly. Oh yeah, Roblox. There you go. So there's one you can join in with if you haven't joined in any of the streams. Bit of Roblox next Wednesday. And quiz on Friday. Yeah, next Saturday, so a week Saturday, so the 10th, I may not be here. I'm going down to New Forest. Dad's birthday is the 9th of May. His ashes are in the New Forest. I lost him on the 16th of May. So I want to go down there. So I won't be around that Saturday. But I think I'm here every day up till then. Right, so 4.3 miles before we got to stop. So I don't want to go that fast. Aha. Well, there's tube train, so it's going to start getting busier now. Hang on, Will Smith has died. As in Men in Black Will Smith. Oh, it's fake news. Okay. I was about to say. I think someone would have posted that in the Discord by now. It's like, what? What, near Brockenhurst? That's how fake news spreads. Indeedly do. Yeah, I love it down there. That's why I want to retire to New Milton or Milford-on-Sea, that sort of area. Which again is where I'm going to be on Saturday. A week on Saturday, not this Saturday. Alright, so 3 miles to go to our stop point. Yeah, I hope it's a big siding. I hope it isn't just going to end the scenario with just stopped on the tracks. You're on Dartmoor. Well, if we don't hear from you the week after next, we know that the Dartmoor beast has got you, CG. Right, 2.2 miles. We got another yellow. Used to drive for Woolies. What, here? Or from here? I used to work for a company that supplied all the clothing to the workers of Woolworths. I said this the other week. I worked there for 15 minutes. When I moved to Birmingham and moved back again, I went in there and the job they wanted me to do was open cages for the pickers. And that was all my job was, to spend all day just dragging cages and opening them and then passing them to the pickers because it's too much of a difficult job for the pickers to do. 15 minutes and I went, I'm out of here. I ain't doing that as a job. Alright, single yellow. We have got a red. So we will creep towards it slowly in case we scare it. So yeah, it even shows running freight on here how busy this main line is. So what we'll do is we'll stay in this timetable. We'll grab something from Milton Keynes at about 9 AM And then in theory, we should pass this freight service if we grab a 350 or something. Don't know if anybody ever follows James May on YouTube. He put a video out today. He's bought a new car, classic Mini, and one of the 3 pre-production prototype Minis that became the final run out of the John Cooper Works in the old shape, which is quite cool. But I'm sure if anybody watched the series, the James May and the Dole Men, James May hasn't got a daughter. If anybody saw the series of James May and the Dole Men, on one of those episodes, he was driving a Mini. I think it was that Mini, and that was filmed last summer, so he hasn't just bought a Mini. We're gonna. Oh, that was lucky. That was lucky. Don't stop me. Okay, I officially do not like the Class 66. Especially if I was having to look down. If you were doing this by hand, you'd probably get a good feel for the brakes. Yeah, it was a good series, actually, James May and the Dole Men. And you can now buy his gin in Waitrose. There we go. Oh, see, now, I like Hammond. I don't like the fact that his daughter now is on everything that Drive Tribe does, so I've unsubscribed from Drive Tribe. I find James May more engaging on his Planet Gin YouTube channel, but each to their own. Actually, I do want to book those tickets and go and see James May live. I think that could be quite an interesting evening. There you go, there's a Sims and Stuff meet up in the making. Okay, so into the sidings. I think there was a Friday night, I think it is, in Oxford. I haven't really looked that closely. Yeah, it was Lucy Brown. She's his video editor and creator. She's got her own YouTube channel as well. I find her quite annoying. Looks like a man. Not that that's a bad thing. She reminds me of Ethan, because when he did all the food stuff, so it was Food Tribe. There's Drive Tribe and Food Tribe. Food Tribe became now James May's Planet Gin, and then that Lucy Brown didn't. Oh, I don't like cheese. I don't like anything spicy. I don't like ham. I don't like margarine. Every time he did cooking stuff, she wouldn't try it. I do want to go there. Threatened it last summer. The time to go, though, is when the TV series isn't on, and that's back in a few weeks' time, because as soon as the TV series is on, people then get prompted to go there. And it's not far from here. I could probably be there in about 40 minutes, 45 minutes. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. You're going to, aren't you? Really? We're all in the siding. That's all that matters. Oh, get me out of the chit seat, why don't you? Right, there we go. So that was an intermodal trip done. I'll show you the timetable runs for this then, and then we'll do a passenger run, but on the same timetable. So in theory, if we did in Milton Keynes at about 9 a.m, we should pass that same train that we've just driven. In theory. I don't like air brakes. It's not a new thing. So, cargo line is the one you get. So that's what we've just done. And quite a few services. So there's that one there, which we've just done. So Bletchley to Wembley. There's one going the other way at 9:35. So we should see the one we just done, and then the one coming back the other way then as well. So we should see two of those. If we do, that's probably not a bad time. There is stuff for the 52, which I'm guessing is probably going to be exactly the same. Oh, it's not. There's only one.
Hello. Somehow been here for 21 of the mods.
Thank you very much, Daniel. That is many of the mods. Thank you indeed. So yeah, Bletchley to Willesden Relief Line. There's that one there in the class 52. And in the 47, there's the same service you can do in the 47. So most of the stuff is in the 66. So that's what you're going to see running around. So what we'll do now is we'll stay within the same cargo line. We'll take a 350. There you go. Milton Keynes to London. So the 8:58. That's what we want. We'll get the weather a bit more nicer. And then we should pass then two of those freight services on the way down. That's the theory. Right. Window. Too early for the other from Bletchley. Well, that's the point. Hang on, it wasn't leaving until 9:27, was it? Hang on. So what time do we get to Bletchley? 9:04. Yeah, that wasn't leaving until 9:27. Right. In that, yeah, good point. So in that case, I need to leave 10. If I left Milton Keynes at 10, God, I can't do logic now. Where were we? So that left Bletchley at 9:27, and that left Wembley to Milton Keynes at 9:35. So if I left at 10, I should get to Wembley before that does, because that was an hour. So we didn't get it till 10:30. Yeah, so that works. If I find a 10 o'clock then, and then I should pass that before we get there as well. God, this is complicated. Milton Keynes to Euston. That's an express. I don't want an express. 9:58 then. Milton Keynes to Euston. There we go. That should do it. Hi, Amy Lou. So the one that's already departed will be 25 minutes north, so that should be fine. And then we should catch up the other one, because that's half an hour ahead of us. Yeah, it's going to be fine. It's good, actually, because as we get into Milton Keynes, then we can end. Milton Keynes, Landon. In it. Landon. Right, shove my thing in the hole. Shove it forward. There we go. Snooker on screen 1 and screen 3. Me in the middle. Oh, I'm a sandwich. I like being in the middle. No. Right. Header marker lights. Stay. Unlock doors. Right. So yes, so we're still in the timetable mode, but we're going to take a 350 now and see if we can spot those timetable services. Timetable services, freight services. So Bletchley, Leighton Buzzard, Cheddington, Tring, Berkhamsted, Hemel, Apsley, Kings Langley, Watford, Bushy, Harrow, Euston. Okay. Wait until 10. Should also then see this line get quite busy the other side of Watford. In theory, it looks warm out there. It's warm in it. What temperature is it in here? 26.2. That's not bad. I've been in this room and it's hit 40 degrees. That's moist. I hear a 350. You're thinking of the Arterios, aren't you? That's more like a 710, isn't it? Same family. Right, there's a Pendolino coming through. Right, Bletchley. Yeah, the Arterios are the new. They look like the 710. They got the pointy, slanty, fronty thing. Yeah, the old blue ones. I do like them. Right, so you got to keep your eye out for freight then. Go. Right, full power. So, yeah, we're now doing a 4-line run down to Euston. And then we'll hopefully overtake the same service we were on. And then we should see one coming the other way. Should, in theory. They all look the same. Some of them I know. I'm not a train nerd. Some I do know the differences between. Others I'm like, nah, I don't know. Right. Pendolino. This line is certainly one of the best, if not the best, routes that we've had so far in Train Sim World. I hope that when we get Train Sim World 6, I'm guessing it's going to be Train Sim World 6, that they do something better than this. Because they nailed it with this route. Initially, the impressions were there wasn't enough running on it. They fixed that with an update and have gone, yeah, okay, we should have added the 4 timetable. I think they've learned a lot in that what we need is 4 lines and 4 timetables and what people want, which is why we're getting the extension to the Mildmay line to go down to Richmond. Oh, what's that? The flirts. Yeah. We're hoping to organise something and maybe even a group thing down to Cardiff, May Bank Holiday weekend. Where the flirts are running down there on the on the valley lines. Right, into Bletchley. So this is where we started out on that freight run. I think it may have been where we started from. Doors, that one. We got passengers tonight. Yay! So yeah, those of you that, you know, may be interested in a bit of a get-together and a day out, certainly going to the Greatest Gathering up in Derby in August. Look at doing something in Cardiff in May, and I think possibly may do another London day in July. Do you know, it's always a difficult time because people may be on holiday and stuff, but that's the plan. It's either going to be July or September. September may be better from a holiday point of view. Oh, new PC time. I vowed that this PC I built would only last me 3 years. That was 4 years ago. And it's still rock solid. Right, 6 miles to Leighton Buzzard. So we're looking out for freight stuff. Yeah, I probably won't do the Christmas thing again this year. As much as I enjoyed Manchester the last 2 years, the problem doing anything over Christmas is A, it's flipping cold if you're out somewhere and you can't guarantee what the weather is. And B, it's sometimes an expensive time of year for people. So trying to expect people to spend out on a weekend away at Christmas may not be ideal. So maybe if we do something later in the year, maybe like beginning of November, end of October. Well, your processor's not bad. Your graphics card's fine. A 2070 is fine. And your processor's fine. But I get the upgrade. Hopefully you're managing to sell on your old rig, or do like I do and just keep it. My old gaming rig is now downstairs. And the one before that is now in a new case and is now my streaming rig. So my old i5, which has got a 1080 in it, I think, is the streaming rig. So that pushes out the stream. Yeah, I want to go to Locomotion. Well, there's the Railway 200 in September. We've got the Greatest Gathering in August, and there's Railway 200 in September, where there's going to be stuff on over that weekend at York and Locomotion. So that I would like to go to. I've never been to Locomotion. They've got the prototype Pacer there. So that might be a thing. Right, if you're just joining, you're confused by the title where it says cargo line. We've done a cargo run. I'm in the same cargo line timetable, and what we're now trying to do is catch up on the run that I've just done, so we can overtake it. And we should see another intermodal coming the other way. That is the plan. Then what I'd be interested in is next time we do this route is to do it in the normal run and see if we still see the intermodal stuff, because each layer just means the line gets busier and busier and busier, which is always good. We like busy. Yeah, Sim, I found that, which is why I changed from my 1080, my i7 running a GTX 1080, because it was struggling to run firm bus and push the stream out. So I took the plunge and built this, which is a 6800 XT that I'm running. I can't remember what the processor is. And that's been rock solid ever since. How long can you make your runs? Depends on the length of the route. The average for Train Sim World is around an hour in time as far as the length of route. They're limited by the old gen consoles, which is why there's a difference between this and that. But there's nothing stopping me when I get this to Euston, getting out of the train, finding another service that's going back to Milton Keynes, jumping in that and going back again. Or the advantage of this route is you could jump in an overground train, go to Wembley Central, then jump in a Pendolino, go back to Euston, jump in a 350, go to Queen's Park, jump in an underground train, go to the end of the underground line, jump back in a Pendolino, go back to Milton Keynes. So you can just go up and down the lines without going back to the menu. And on lines like this where it's busy, there's a lot you can do. And freight. You can go and jump in a freight train. I'm hopeful that in Train Sim World 6, or what I'd like to see, is where you pick a timetable to be able to swap the train. So you could use any train you like on any timetable you like, and it will give you a stop. So instead of using this, I could have used a pacer, and it would have still done these stops. I think that would just be a game changer for me. And, I hate to say it, multiplayer. Multiplayer would be amazing in this. Is it evening? It is evening. Good evening. I did that again, didn't I? Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Please delete as appropriate. Well, that's what I think the bus could do to OMSI. With some tweaking, some good maps, and a lot of mods, I think the bus will be an OMSI killer. There's routes all over the world. Well, a lot in America, a lot in Germany, France, a lot in the UK. For you, it's evening. In that case, it's evening then. For me, it's evening. Wait until 10:12. Okay, we'll wait until 10:12. All the passengers are just getting off. Why are you standing there? You're going to get... That was loud.
Moth times 41. That is all.
Richard, thank you very much indeed. Oh, there we go. Freight. That's the one that's coming the other way. So that's the one that left at past. There you go. So that's the intermodal going back the other way. It is going the other way. So now we've got to try and catch up with the one that we were driving. I don't know if we will, actually. We will see. If not, we'll see it in the sidings at Watford. Wembley, even. Right, Cheddington's next. Yeah, if TML do multiplayer correctly, I think the bus could be an OMSI killer. Yeah, there's no Italian trains in this. What about Subway Sim? Yeah, someone's been posting in the Discord about Subway Sim 3. I don't know. I could contact Aerosoft and see if they'll get me have a key to it. I played the original Subway Sim, I think, or the second one. It was alright. Don't forget, we got the S-Bahn coming to this soon. I would like to see more Subway. Yeah, maybe I picked the wrong train, didn't I? I started at the wrong time. Didn't account for my stopping. Yeah, this is where PlayStation owners realise that Forza's better than Gran Turismo. And it is. Apart from Forza Racing, that's shit. Forza Horizon's where it's at. Or Forza Motorsport, whatever it's called, is rubbish. We'll try that again because I think we lucked out on the fourth one. Right, 1.4 miles. Can we catch us a freight train? I actually don't think we will, because it was what, 10:35 and we stopped at Wembley and we're still out in the flipping countryside. Okay, we may not be stopping at Cheddington. Oh, actually no, it might be right. All the passengers are now in the front carriage. Problem is, we're running early. It's going to hold us till we're on time as well. You want a refund on your Frappuccino? That's Pendolino. There's a Pendolino. That rhymes with Frappuccino. I have a Frappuccino and a Pendolino. A Pendolino Frappuccino. A Pendicino. Wait until 10:17. So yeah, we did a freight run. We're now trying to catch up with the freight train that we did. We've seen an intermodal go the other way. So I just want to check and see if using this timetable is still as busy as the standard timetable, and it seems to be. Right, dring in 4 miles. I do like the way these things sound. Yeah, I think I took a service too late. The original one I took was too early, so it wouldn't have left yet. And now I've taken one that's too late. I should have taken one about 9:30, shouldn't I? No, half past 9. Although it left at 9:30, so about quarter to... I don't know. That means using logic and thought. Maths is not your strong point. Well, we know it's not Nico's. He couldn't work out the change on the bus. He would make a good darts player, would he? One of the first jobs I had, there was no till. So you printed a receipt out and we had a till drawer under the counter. So you had to work out in your head how much change you had to give the customer, or use a calculator. But you soon learn. Yeah, what do you mean you want change? Right, 350 coming the other way. Yeah, I don't know what route to do next Tuesday. Might have a look and see if there's anything we haven't done for a long time. There's bound to be some of them I haven't done for ages, or I think rapid transit I still don't think I've done at all because I couldn't get the train working. Which is probably a me thing. Or did I manage to do it? I can't remember. If I was professional, I'd keep logs and everything of what I stream. No. No. Right, and we come into Dring. When you're doing a Thomas tour. Yeah, the thing about Thomas, there's an initial buzz with Thomas, and I did like the storyline. I think it was done so well. The problem is, it's not drawing me back to it. So I think Thomas is one of those things for a bit of fun. You know, we'll get Thomas back out again and take him on a line, but it's not something that's going to make me want to go back and finish off and do the storyline. I think if it would have been on Sodor, and it would have been, right, here's Sodor, you start off with Thomas and Annie and Clarabelle, we're going to do other DLCs that give you the other engines, etc., or unlock more of the island or something, I think it would have been a huge hit and would have drawn you back to it, because you could have then, you know, I would have rewatched the cartoons and then wanted to, you know, recreate almost the movements in the cartoons in Train Sim World. I also think that they missed a trick with the marketing as to how they've done it, is they should have sold it as a separate game. But it was good fun. Yeah, I definitely don't think we're going to catch up with that freight train running. I think when we get there, it'll be in the sidings. So a bit of bad planning there on my part. Oops. We've got to wait here another 30 seconds. Blame Ethan. I'm not against that idea. I think he might have something to say about it, but, you know. He's currently out with Toby, having a roast with no gravy. which is sacrilege. Because he doesn't like gravy. Right, Burkamp, although he had gravy on his Christmas dinner. Yeah, so Berkhamsted, then Hemel, then Apsley, then Kings Langley, then Watford Junction, then Bushy, Harrow, Wheelston, Euston. So, yeah, I don't think we're going to catch up with that freight train somehow. Toby the Tram, Toby the Carvery. Okay, slightly overtaken by an express. It's Wembley south of... 15-minute run in it for Watford Junction to Wembley using the 387. Yeah, we're definitely not going to see that freight train running. I anticipated how long it would take me to get from Milton Keynes to Watford or Wembley. Should have chosen an earlier train. That's fine. Technically we're still in the new DLC. Just running a passenger service instead. That's a point. Yeah, so technically I'm running behind it. So I should have taken the express then, shouldn't I? Ah, well, okay. Too late now. We'll see it in the sidings. I didn't think of these things. That's coming in rapid. See? A train with brakes. Right, where am I? So that's the sidings, isn't it? Yeah, so this is where it stopped. So we will come past it. We just won't go in there. And we're quite a long way from there, and that's due there in a couple of minutes. I should have looked, actually. Hang on. Can we find it? Where's the freighty one? No, your passenger. No. It's probably so far ahead of us now. Where is it? If it isn't on the map now. Well, no, because there's the sidings. Is it already in? No. Okay. That's bizarre. They picked the same day. It shouldn't matter. Unless it's got there and despawned. And we still haven't got there yet. Oh well. We did a freight run, it's fine. We'll have a look when we get close. Huh. Yeah, I reckon it's got there and despawned. Because we left too late. Oh, we saw one coming the other way. I think if we'd left any later, we wouldn't have seen that one coming the other way. Because that would have been past the point where we spawned in then. Hang on, no, if we'd left earlier, we would have seen it for... Okay, whatever. I made a slight little user error. Tiny one. Yeah, but they're scheduled on here though, Michael. It's a scheduled service on here. They've got to be, because otherwise how would they run it as AI? So that's why I picked this, thinking we'd catch it up. But unless I went past it on the map. Because it was 9:35 and we got there at 10:35. Well, after that, when it was an hour and 5 minutes, at 10:40. So I was thinking I'd have caught it up by the time it got there. But it's so far ahead of me. I under anticipated how long it would take me to get from Milton Keynes to Watford. Or Wembley. Right, anyway, into Hemel. So yes, if Weirdo Ethan was here, he would have told me which one I needed. But so I'm blaming him for having a birthday and going out with Toby. Oh, that's true. Yeah, I would have probably been there like 15 minutes sooner. So it's probably got there and despawned. So it'd have probably got there about 20 past 10. So I should have got one at about quarter to 10, 20 to 10, something like that, and shouldn't I? Well. Oh, the measurement train. Well, yeah, because they've got to have slots, haven't they? They've got to be a scheduled service. Otherwise, how do you stick it in the... You can't just say to the freight train, right, we're going to go, because they'd never get where they wanted to get. And they do spend a lot of time sat waiting, but they do have to be sent through the system, don't they? Be like planes, you can't just take off and fly somewhere. Oh, I left early. Oh well. Right, stop at Apsley. Passengers are like, the train's gone, it's early. Could you imagine, although you obviously got the language barrier, could you imagine a train driver that drives for like the Japanese railways coming to the UK or Germany? Wasn't there something about one of these bullet trains was like 30 seconds late or something, and the train driver apologised to the passengers? Really? Because there's no room for error in their system. You know, if the train is due to depart at 8:27 and 30 seconds, it departs at 8:27 and 30 seconds. And I've seen YouTube videos on there, you know, changing drivers, and it's regimented. And the driver does hand signals to acknowledge the fact that he's seen the signal. Yeah, I've seen something really cute on Twitter and stuff. Like Japanese and Chinese school children, if they're crossing a crossing, and obviously cars are waited, they'll get to the other side and they'll bow to thank the cars for waiting. Imagine that here. I know in America, freight gets priority. So I've seen, again, videos of the trip I want to do is Amtrak, doing Chicago to LA. And it's going to arrive late because it will be pulled over into a siding to let freight come past, because freight is the priority. Freight owns the tracks. Amtrak just lease the track that they travel on. Right, so we're definitely not going to catch up with that freight train that we drove earlier because of my misjudgment. So we'll just carry on now, down to Euston in this. We'll see if we can spot it in the siding as we go past. Right, Kings Langley is next. Thing is, I wonder what, you come to accept travelling in the UK that your train's going to be late. Train's running 4 minutes late, 7 minutes late, 8 minutes late, 11 minutes late, 12 minutes late. You go, oh, God's sake. Then you miss your connection. Then that causes you more problems. And okay, you've got delay repay now, so you get a percentage of money back. Most people, for a small fare, probably wouldn't bother with that, which is what they're hoping, because it's not worth the hassle. A lot of it is like engineering problems that cause the trains to be late, but that can't be on a majority of services every day. I know a lot of it is held up by passengers. Passengers take a long time boarding, or you've got someone with special needs or wheelchairs and stuff that have got to get on or off. Then that's going to delay the train, and the timetables are so tight that you're going to lose time. Or you get a shortage of train crew. We were delayed a few weeks ago because the train guard for the train we were on, his inbound service was late, so we were late. So that's, again, another reason for it's a knock-on effect. The guard on your train's got to come in on another train. If that's late, then you're going to be late because you can't leave till he's on board. And unless it makes up time, that service is then going to be late. It's on a train that was 2 hours late. Blimey. Yeah, we never saw him. He never came through and checked tickets. So I'm guessing he just went on break in the back cab. Right, I'm waiting until 10:40. So a few stops to go. We'll see if we can see that freight train that we drove in the sidings. Problem is, a lot of people like that will have the sort of attitude. You'll get some jobs worse, won't you? And you get some that have the attitude of like, just get the train going and I'll just sit in the cab. It did amaze me on those few days we spent out and about. That one instance we had where people were in first class that quite clearly shouldn't have been in first class, and the guard just got on and just stayed in the rear cab because probably didn't want to deal with the issue. A lot of services you don't get ticket checked, and I think it is down to the train manager. They just go, I can't be bothered. Right, Watford Junction. But yeah, but you get that with any job. You always get the older ones. You get some that will just, have always been flexible and happy and will work what hours they want and don't care if they have their breaks or not. And you'll get some that are just have been there so long they play by the rules. I'm entitled to my 15-minute break. I'm taking my 15-minute break. Union rules. Well, yeah, that's the issue we had, wasn't it? Earlier in the year, coming back from Truro, where people got in first class that didn't have tickets first class, were abusive, and we saw the train manager at Plymouth and never saw them again all the way to Swindon. And you'd have thought they'd have been checking first class more than the other classes. I'm always getting interrupted in my lunch break. Sometimes I whinge about it. Sometimes it's just like part of the job. The job I had before this, I couldn't take a lunch break because I was in the branch on my own. And it'd be sod's law that a customer had come in just as you open the sandwiches. So I just sit at my desk now. Blimey. Yeah, I've always been a believer, you know, I'm at work 10 minutes for my start time. So I go in, I make a coffee, I fire up my laptop, and then at my start time, I'm reading emails. You get people at my place that, you know, at their start time, no. Are they in the building? No. Are they even in the car park? No. Stroll in at like 5 minutes past, go and get a coffee, go make their porridge, sit and have their porridge, sit and drink their coffee, go and wash their porridge bowl up, then put the laptop on. It's like, really? On one hand, you think, okay, who's the idiot here then, me or them? But that's just not in my way. Oh, no, I worked at Dorking. I used to work for Southern Electric. And we had there was a social club downstairs. So on a Friday, we used to go in there. But yeah, during the week, it wasn't enough time to go home. So occasionally we'd just go walking around the estate, walk down to the cycle path along the side of Woolworths, down to what used to be old co-op, turn around, walk back again. You start at 6 and finish at 2 and have a half-hour break at 11. That break seems too late for me. If I was starting at 6, what's that? So it's 8 hours. I'd be wanting a break at 10. So people say a company lunch break is 1 o'clock. One side of the business, you know, buzzer goes, people generally go at 1 o'clock. I had my lunch at 12. Took a lot of time for people to realise that I had my lunch at 12. Why do you have lunch at 12? Because I'm not waiting till bloody 1 o'clock. I'm here at 20 past 7. I'll be eating my arm. So they have lunch 1 till 2, and then they'll go on break at 3, and then go home at, well, actually, one part of the building is lunch 1 till half past, go on break at 3 and go home at 4. What? They'll break at 10. So 8 till 10, quarter past 10 till 1, half past 1 till 3, quarter past 3 till 4. So what's the point of going back to work for 45 minutes after quarter past 3? Right, so we've got overground stuff coming in now. So this is the point of the route where it starts to get busier. So that overground's going off to Watford Town. Ah, okay, Michael. So it's not like you're working flat out then. That's like me. I'll have a coffee during the day. I'll wander about on my phone. Generally get harassed by Ethan. Right, so yeah, we definitely won't be seeing the freight train. It's not happening. Because of, well, we'll blame Ethan, because he wasn't here to be able to tell me to get the right service. Blimey, the brakes on this are good. Nearly at 500. Well, he's not here Saturday either, so I'm sure we can blame him for that. So we have only seen one freight train come the other way though, and that was the timetable one. So I'm guessing with this then, the only freight trains you're going to see are, well, would have been the 2 on timetable. I suppose, is that all you would see? Been following for 5 years and 1 week. So you were one of the early ones in lockdown then. Because that's when I was streaming 3 times a day because I was bored. A lot of people joined then. Right, Harrow and Wheelsden. 4 miles. First meet up was York, so that was 2.5 years ago. Yeah, you were one of the group from lockdown as well, Trent. And now look, that he can't get rid of you. Never heard of him. Right, 4 miles to go. So Harrow and Wheelsden, and then into Euston. It's about another 15 minutes. Perfect. Exclamation mark followage, or follow age, but it might be on a cooldown. Otherwise, because now everyone will do it. Yeah, it's on a 5-minute cooldown. Because otherwise everyone in chat will be doing it. Not that that would cause any problems, but you know. Right. 3 miles to Harrow and then a dash down to Euston. This is definitely... I think this could be my favourite route in Train Sim World. Purely because of the busyness and the variety of stuff you can drive. From stopping services like the Overground or the Underground, to express stuff like the Pendolinos, to semi-fasts, to semi-stopping services like this, to freight. It's got everything. So what are they going to do to better it? What could they give us in Train Sim World 6? And considering that's going to be out in what, 4 months? Yeah, I do like London Commuter. I like London Commuter because it's got the long distance bits down to Gatwick. And that busy bit at Victoria is really good. But this is just, I don't know, it just feels better. Because it's busier. Well, I'm guessing it'll be Train Sim World 6 in September. I'm neither confirmed, but logically. Well, I've got a feeling that we'll end up with all the overground lines. Because we've got Mildmay, we've got Barking, we've got this one up to Watford. There's only 2 more. One of those is tiny. There's the one that runs, is it the South London line? The East London line? The one that runs from Stratford, is it? And there's a tiny one. I don't remember where it goes. Just like 3 stops. So that you think they put in as part of another route like they did with this. Well, yeah, that was supposed to release at Christmas. We did, when we were in Manchester last December, we did the airport run purely because we were expecting it to be released. 5 months later, nothing. Not a word. It's just one of those, it's like, yeah, we'll just be quiet about that now. We have got S-Bahn coming up. I think we're going to see that in the next 10 days. The Frankfurt route. And I think that could be really good. So that'll be out soon. And then a few other things coming up after that. Nothing big after that, I don't think. because when we get the roadmap for next month, that will pretty much take us up to the end of Train Sim World 5. Yeah, ex-comrade is off to Frankfurt in June. Now, oh, what's the name of the place in Brussels? Had a new tram network opened yesterday. Makes me want to go back to Brussels. I do like a tram. And I do want to go and do the whole of that 2.5 hour tram that we did, like 40 minutes of it, and then had to turn around and come back again because we'd have missed our train. So I think that's going to be one for later in the year for me, because trying to do the Eurostyle over the summer is horrendously expensive. Right, 9.6 miles to Euston. So yeah, we have been running on the Cargo Line Volume 3 timetable. We did a freight run earlier, and my hope was that we would pass the freight train. There are trams in the UK. London's got a big network. Birmingham's got a network. Manchester, I think, has got the biggest network. Nottingham's got trams. Sheffield's got trams. Edinburgh or Glasgow, I think one of them has. Wolverhampton, yeah, that's the Birmingham one, isn't it? Yeah, we've got that from Wolverhampton. We only went like 4 or 5 stops because they're doing engineering works. Blackpool, London. Docklands Light Railway isn't a tram. London trams are a tram. Manchester, Nottingham, Sheffield, Newcastle, Birmingham, and Edinburgh. I do like the DLR. I think of the London networks, the DLR is my favourite. There's just something about it for me, and I don't think I've done all of it. Not that I'm that sort of a train nerd. Yes, you will be getting the tram trains that are testing now, aren't they? That could be quite cool if they increase that to running within the city. I think that'd be really cool. Alright, so 8 miles into Euston. I think we'll be back down your way soon, Kerry. Certainly within the next 4 weeks. We should be invading Cardiff. So put down the portcullis, bring up the drawbridge. So we should be far away now from where we stopped. I really misjudged that, didn't I? Yeah, because we came through here, because this is where I had it stop again. And off here. Yes, this is where we went in. So there is no train there. That's really odd. So it must have despawned. Unless it changed because I change the month. Well, yes, Jeff Marshall put a video out last week as to where was the first UK passenger railway, and well, the first passenger traction powered railway was the Stockton and Darlington, which was September 27th, 1825, which is why Railway 200 events are going on at Locomotion and then consequently at York around that time in 2025. But yeah, the Mumbles was a horse-drawn tramway. Said earlier, I've got tickets to the Greatest Gathering, so I will be going up to that in August. Definitely won't be driving to that. I'm going to find somewhere to park on the outskirts and then train it. And then, yeah, I would like to do something for Railway 200. Haven't seen anything about Imber this year. I certainly won't be doing that. I would have liked to have done Convoy in the Park, but that's the week after the Greatest Gathering, so that might be a bit much. That was probably only Wombles that rode that, though. Oh, they got to get to the tram somehow. Thank you, Holders. So yeah, the intermodal, not bad. Length of train was good. A few services to do in the 66. Obviously, it does show stuff on the West Coast Mainline North as well, Preston to Carlisle. Makes that more interesting. And yeah, adds another layer to this already busy route, which is good. We approve. Doesn't help my ability to be able to drive a 66 in Bus 16th of August. Yeah, we did it, what, 2 years ago, and was good. It's not something I'd rush back to. It's like the bus thing we did at Gaydon. What a disappointment that was. I think we were there, what, 45 minutes? Stokey drove all the way down from Liverpool and was there like under an hour. A few of us went off into Birmingham, I think, and went to Bromsgrove and stuff. Yeah, it was interesting going into Imber, and yeah, it was quite interesting jumping on off at the different buses, etc. But yeah, I don't think it's something I would want to do again. Place I would like to go that I've been seeing stuff on is Brooklands, because you've got the London Bus Museum down there, you've got a Concorde down there as well as a few other aircraft, you've got car stuff down there, so I think that could be an interesting day out. That could be interesting. I do want to get back to Brussels this year. I think that's a plus, a must rather. Go down to Knock and do that tram line. And realising how easy it is to negotiate Brussels. And if you can get the tickets, it's really cheap as well. Right, 2 miles to go to Euston. Slowly through the tunnels. Yeah, there's going to be a few interesting things. Well, Virgin going for running trains under the Channel Tunnel. I think that will shake things up for Eurostar. Big time. That'll make that more competitive. So that's going to be good because more people coming to and from. So I like that idea. And then, yeah, more competition on the railways. That can only be a good thing. You know, Lumo have done well, although their prices have skyrocketed. They've almost just become like another. You're not really a train company, not really getting any benefit to using them. Which is why I think Megabus are going, because it's tougher on the budget end. And why Flixbus are taking over. I can almost see National Express becoming extinct. Well, that's one of the cheap ways I looked at to get to Brussels. 9:30 in the morning departure from Victoria. Get to Brussels at, is it Brussels or Antwerp? No, Brussels at like 6 p.m. and was 30 quid. So yeah, it takes about, you know, if you look at it, including the time you'd have to get there early for Eurostar, probably takes, I don't know, hour and a half longer. But you get to get out on the ferry, stretch your legs for like an hour and a bit, and then you just sit back and relax on a coach. There's no need for the caps. You show me a train company that owns trains, or an airline that owns aircraft. They're all leased, or it's franchised. Yeah, it's bargain. So I'd seriously consider doing that coach trip to Brussels. I've always wanted to do a long coach trip anyway. And for 30 quid, bargain. There we go. We have arrived at Euston. And to prove it, here we are. With no passengers getting off. Apart from that, it was all good. Why is some routes have got no passengers? Oh, it's a horrid station. It's very 70s brutalist architecture, isn't it? I used to get the coach a lot, but not anymore. There we go. So yes, despite the fact it was a passenger run, we did look at the new Cargo Line Volume 3 coming out tomorrow for Train Sim World 5. And the 66 run, apart from my inability to drive it, was actually quite good. It does show off how busy that line is. Next time, I don't know. Maybe some more Cardiff City. I haven't done that for a little while. Maybe look at some of the German stuff. It certainly won't be Antelope Valley. Birmingham we did recently. East Coast Mainline's boring. Great Western Express, won't be doing that again until we get the update. Harlem Line, we did those ones recently. We've done some high-speed stuff. Isle of Wight's quite good, but not a lot to it. London to Brighton we did recently. We've done the overgrounds, we've done the undergrounds, we've done the Wambling Free. Midland Mainline, not a fan of that. Yeah, Northern's not great. It's just slow stuff, but I might look see if there's a modern timetable out for it. Someone may have done something. South Eastern High Speed we did recently. West Cornwall, we haven't been down there for a little while. West Somerset, obviously we've done with Thomas. And yeah, there's probably ones that I've hardly done anything on. Yeah, that's freight. 22, level 6, level 7, level 1 on Sandpatch. Level 4, level 9. You can see what level I'm on as to how much time I've spent in them. Level 1 on Oakville. The Niddertal Barn, that's quite cool. Level 1 on the Verka Dresden. Maintal Barn, Midland Mainline, Luzerne to Cersei. I'm going level 1 on that. I'm done. Have I not done anything on that? Yeah. 0 services. Maybe that might be the one to do then. Although it's not very long. We shall see. So yeah, there we go. Plenty to choose from. But that is one for next week. And yeah, one day maybe we'll come back and do some more Thomas as well. So there we go. Thanks to you lot in chat for keeping me company for the last 2 and a bit hours. Tomorrow night, back with other people. Well, providing some of them are around. Back on the farm, doing the farmy type thing. Friday night, we'll be playing with our balls in golf with your friends. Need to find some of those by Friday. Saturday night, I'll be here with something. Don't know what yet, but we'll certainly be here with something Saturday night. Sunday lunchtime, back on the farm doing more farming. And then we'll be here Monday at some point, either lunchtime or the evening. Again, doing something, maybe some The Bus. And then more things back next week. So there we go. So yes, so thanks to you lot in chat for keeping me company. To Richard, Daniel and Tris for resubscribing. Thank you very, very much indeed. It's much appreciated. I will be back then tomorrow night with some idiots on the farm to do some farming. Until then, if you have been, thanks very much for watching.